right now. Let's also welcome in Sameet Chavan from Angel Broking. He is a technical analyst over there to get his views on the market. Sameet, watching out for August series expiry, of course, on the Nifty, which largely been range bound if you include the last few trading sessions. Of course, this week has been quite volatile. But in terms of the range that you're watching out for September, the cues that you're getting from the rollover data, what are we watching out for?
As far as rollover data is concerned, till yesterday we didn't have no much rollover data. It was below its average. And if you look at the overall range now, if you look at the option in September, 10,000 to 9,700 seems to be a range. So at least for first half or first week or so, we would expect this consolidation to continue in a range of this range 10,000 and 9,700. As far as levels are concerned, immediate resistance would now be seen somewhere around 99.20 to 99.40, and on the lower side, 9780 has been acting as a very strong support. So clearly, in last couple of weeks, the index has slipped into the consolidation mode. So unless we don't see any kind of breakout on either side, we would see such kind of lethargic movement, wherein you would continue to have such kind of performance from individual stocks. So at this juncture, our strategy would be to avoid index-specific calls, rather focus on individual stocks, that are outperforming the benchmark index.
Right, let's focus on individual stocks then. And Sameet, before I come to you with a couple of names, let me get in. Right, Piyush, thanks for that. Sameet, any of these names on your list? I mean, we've had HUL that's hit a record high today, but what do you make of an ITC? Maruti too buzzing in trade today, up about 1.5%. And there's a contra call that's come in on something like a Bharti Airtel. Any views on these names?
For ITC, if you look at the overall price movement in last 1.5 months, clearly after taking a knock from the levels of 330, 340, the stock has clearly slipped into a consolidation mode, and we don't see the stock extending its gains. We would expect some kind of consolidation to continue, wherein low side 270 would act as a very strong support, and as far as resistance level is concerned, we don't see this stock surpassing 290, 295. So as far as range is concerned, yes, this stock is likely to move within this range. 290 on the higher side and lower side 270 would act as a very strong support. Apart from that, you talked about Bharti Airtel. Within this space, we certainly like Tatacom and Bharti Airtel. If we talk about the levels for Bharti Airtel, after a long consolidation of nearly 4 to 5 weeks, this stock managed to give a breakout from its important levels of 420 on a closing basis, and since last couple of weeks it's been hovering around those important support levels of 425. So we would expect some kind of outperformance to continue as far as Bharti Airtel is concerned. Near-term resistance around 432, but we would expect this stock to surpass this level and head towards 440, 445 levels.
Right, that's the view on some of these stocks. Bharti Airtel is in fact broken above that 400 range after a long time. Otherwise, the stock is usually in that 280 to 400 odd range. Let's take a very short break. Lots more to. Welcome back. You're tuned into the trading day. Some flashes at the bottom of your screen. Adani Group will tie up with Saab to build single-engine fighter jets. Adani Group and Saab will make an announcement about this tomorrow. Remember, the entire Adani Group of stocks has been buzzing in trade quite of late. Adani Enterprises, Power, Ports, as well as Transmission, all of them have been active, but I believe Adani Enterprises will be the one that will be most impacted by this. But it is a defense tie-up with Sweden's Saab Group, and this is to make single-engine fighter jets. The deal is likely to be announced tomorrow. That's what we're picking up right now. We'll of course try and get you more details on this, but that's what Reuters is reporting at the moment. Adani Group to tie up with Saab for single-engine fighter jets. Sameet, have you seen the charts of Adani Group of stocks? All of them have been very active in trade of late, whether it's enterprises, whether it's power, ports, or even transmission, which has been gaining quite smartly.
See, out of this entire group, we've been closely tracking Adani Enterprises and Adani Ports. If we talk about the levels for Adani Enterprises, the stock has already given a decent recovery from lower levels after seeing a sharp fall from 140, and now it is back to those levels. So we would expect this rally to get extended a bit, but 140, 142 remains to be a very strong hurdle as far as near-term outlook is concerned. And as of now, we don't see the stock surpassing these levels. So at high levels, you would see some kind of profit movement coming into this stock. So 140, 142 remains to be a very strong hurdle, and lower side, 120 would now act as very strong support. As far as Adani Ports is concerned, recently we saw some kind of corrective move from this level, from this stock, but 370, 372 seems to be a very strong base, at least in the near term, and we would expect some kind of consolidation in this stock too, wherein on the higher side, 395 to 400 would act as a very strong resistance, and lower side, once this stock reaches once again around 370, 372, you would see some kind of buying interest.
All right, so that's the view on some of those Adani Group of stocks, extremely active in trades. Of course, one other pocket of stocks that's been buzzing quite strongly of late is the entire real estate pack, and the stocks on their part though are holding out quite smartly in trade right now, seeing some gains out there. But Sameet, talking about real estate names, come in on a DLF. This one has been one of the top gainers from the real estate basket. Of course, seems more like a buy on rumor, sell on news kind of a story, because once the deal for the sale of its rental arm came out, the stock hasn't been too active in trade, did fall quite sharply, holding on at about 180 odd right now. How do the charts of this one look to you?
See, to be honest, recently we witnessed a massive volatility in the stock. The stock first tumbled from high levels of 185, 180 towards 175, and then we saw V-shaped recovery. And since then, the stock has been consolidating. So we would expect this consolidation to continue. And on the high side, the 188, 190 seems to be a very strong hurdle. So as far as support levels are concerned, now low side 175 seems to be a very strong base. So we would expect some kind of consolidation to continue, wherein 175 has a very strong support, and higher side you would see selling pressure coming in once the stock reaches 188, 190. As far as a preferred pick from this space is concerned, we have been quite upbeat on Soba developers, and this stock has been consolidating in a range of late. But chart structure with a slightly broader perspective certainly looks encouraging, and we are closely observing on a particular level, which is 395 to 398. So this seems to be a very strong resistance. But once we see some kind of volume activity picking up around those levels, and we would see some kind of breakout happening. So we are as of now anticipating this breakout to happen. Once the stock surpasses 398, we would see a good surge towards 418, 420. On the low side now, 380 would act as a very strong support.
Right, that's as far as some of the real estate names are concerned. Soba is up about 2.5% at the moment. Market at the highs of the day right now, so trying to pick up some momentum as we head into the last 20 minutes of trade. Let's just look at some of the other active stocks from the mid-cap universe. So pull up a Vadilal, that's seeing strong gains in trade right now. Apart from that, also pull up a Nuland Labs. This one ran up quite smartly in the morning session, was up about 15% in the first few minutes of trade. Since then it's cooled down, but it's holding out on gains of about 4 odd percent right now. Also up something like a Schaefer India, it's been active all day in trade today, 16.5% gain coming in on that counter right now. Sameet, some of the smaller names, any view on them? Schaefer India 16.5%, Vadilal locked in on 20%, Nuland Labs a bit of up and down ride today.
See, honestly speaking, generally we don't track this counter considering their inconsistent volume activity. But if you look at the Bajaj Industries, yes, the chart structure certainly looks encouraging now looking at today's price and volume activity. The stock has managed to give a decisive breakout from a multiple 950, 955 now. So we would expect extension of this rally at least towards say 1100, 1130 over the next few sessions. But fresh buying at current level would be very difficult considering the unfavorable risk to reward ratio. Any minor dip, probably towards 1040, 1030 would be a very good buying opportunity for targets of, as I said, 1100 to 1130.
Right. Let me also throw another smaller name at you, Sameet. I don't know if you have coverage on this one. Visakha. I was just looking at the chart of this one. It's had an extremely strong run. Visakha Industries, this is the one I'm talking about. It's not doing much in trade today, but on a YTD basis, if you pull up the chart, it's gone up about 270%, 250%. There you go. Any view on this?
See, the stock has given a massive run over the past 1.5 years, ever since it formed its low around 100 in early part of 2016. Now, after a consolidation of nearly 1.5 month, a couple of weeks back, we witnessed decent price volume breakout. from a resistance of 550, 560, and since then the stock has been moving northward. The trend has been quite strong, and the volume activity that has happened over the past couple of weeks is quite encouraging. So, considering this sizable volumes, along with this price action, we would expect extension of this rally 740, 750. These are the next possible levels to watch out for, as far as levels for Sokka Industries are concerned. And on the low side now, we would see strong base forming around 600, 620.
All right, at day's high for the markets, Nifty and Sensex. Nifty IT is doing very well today, and so are some of the energy stocks. So you have stocks like RIL and Vedanta, which are quite active in trade right now. Seattle, I just mentioned a while back, Jet Airways, Kansai Nerolac, Aarti Industries, Idea, as well as Supreme Industries. All of them are buzzing in trade right now, sitting at the highs of the day. All right. Sameet, on these names, any technical view? DCB Bank, it's a little weak in trade today. RBL and Ujjivan have been quite active of late. What have you to say on the charts?
We would certainly avoid DCB, at least in the near term. The stock has clearly slipped into a corrective mode now after seeing massive rally. So we would expect consolidation to continue in this stock, wherein on the high side 190.95 would act as a very strong resistance, and low side 170 would be a support level. So we would expect the stock to oscillate within this range. But yes, we have been quite upbeat on Ujjivan and RBL, especially the way Ujjivan had given us a decisive breakout yesterday from its resistance of 330, 335 with sizable volumes. So we would continue with our optimistic stance on Ujjivan. This stock is clearly heading towards 385, 395. So probably in next couple of weeks time, we would see this stock heading toward these levels. On the low side now, any dip towards 350, 348 would be a very good buying opportunity.
Space. All right. Sameet, on a Maruti, I'm not sure if you've already spoken about this, but 2% of a gain coming in above that 7,700 mark. What would you do with this?
See, clearly there has been no stopping for this stock, but with the trading view, it would be very difficult to give any kind of recommendation right now. But certainly, yes, those have bought it at lower levels and who have been holding since last months, years, they should continue to hold on. The stock would now move towards, say, probably 8,000, which is the next milestone to watch out for the stock. Lower side now 7,400, 7,350 has become a very strong base.
Right, that's a Majestic Auto for you. Sameet, anything on the chart that captures this one? It's locked in upper circuit right now.
See, to be honest, I'm watching this stock for the first time. Considering its inconsistent volume activity, we have not been tracking the stock. But yes, the way the stock has broke out today itself from its important risks of 120 with massive volumes, clearly the stock is now heading towards its 2008 highs of that is somewhere around 140, 145. But we won't recommend this stock considering its inconsistent volume. Those who have bought it, they can remain invested at least for a target of 140, 145.
Right, Ashish, Sameet, very quickly, especially on the charts of Bombay Dyeing, 45% in just the last 5 trading sessions. What's going on in this one? Sameet, on a Bombay Dyeing, your view?
Clearly, last 4 or 5 days, the stock has already given massive price appreciation. The stock has rallied more than 45% now. Looking at the volume activity, we would see the stock stopping at least in the near term. We would see the stock heading towards its 2013 highs that are somewhere around 125, 130. So at least this rally would continue towards those levels. At those levels, we would see some kind of profit, but any corrective move post that would be a very good buying opportunity. The stock is certainly heading towards 150, 155 over the next few months.
Right, gentlemen, just hold on to your thoughts for a minute. Let me get into market closing, and then I'll take closing comments from both of you. Record highs as well. But just to revisit how the charts are looking to you right now in terms of getting into the September series, what are the levels that you're watching out for? We're still just 200 odd points away from life highs, so nothing to worry about as such.
See, as I said in my opening remarks also, we would be closely tracking the important resistance that would be around 19 and 40. Once Nifty surpasses this level, we would see some kind of extension of this move. But as of now, we are not expecting that to happen. We are expecting Nifty to face some kind of resistance around 19 and 40, 19 and 60. And as of now, we are expecting a rebound action wherein the range would be somewhere around 9940, 9960 on the higher side. Lower side 9780 would be a strong support. But with a slightly broader perspective, we are a bit cautious on the market. So any pullback, any bounce back from this level would be an exit opportunity, and we are expecting Nifty to gradually slide towards 9780 first and then toward 9600.
All right, Sameet, we'll leave it at that. Thanks for joining in. Ashish, before I let you go today, I'm going to talk about the markets, but not about stocks right now. There have been reports coming in that possibly exchanges are looking to extend timings. 5:30 could even go as much as 7:30. I don't know if you've looked into this.